Hello, and welcome to All I Do Is Fail. I am your host, Tom Elwes. I'm joined today, once again, in the studio by Mr. Ali Woods.
The Freight Container team are back, Tom. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, listeners, for listening. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe wherever you are. And don't worry, we will be here in our bunker,
Yes.
sort of podcasting throughout. How are you, Tom?
I'm okay,
What's been going on this week? Any big news?
Well, not for me personally, really, but there's been some wider news that we will come on to, ladies and gentlemen. But for me personally, yeah, it's been all right, Fine week, did some gigs. AIDIF Tuesday was a great...
Was it good? I wasn't here.
Great show. I do actually have the footage somewhere. Sorry to the girl that I absolutely shat up in the...
Excuse me?
Yeah.
So requested.
You never shat someone up? Or... That's... No?
Shut up. So is that shit chat up?
No.
I thought that's
I scared her.
I thought that's what you were saying. So that you were terribly trying to hit on her, which sounds like you.
I went out and after the break, came back on stage and I decided to do a bit of magic.
Sorry?
Did a bit of magic.
Got your cock out?
Yeah.
That's what you call it.
Well,
May the audience
many people have
disappear.
said. So I did a bit of magic.
Sawed it in half. You hold that inch and you hold that
No, went out, did a bit of magic, and I was like, I said I'm going to contact the spirits.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so I was like, have we got a, I won't say a real name, but like, have I got a Rachel Smithson?
Rachel Adedeji.
Yeah, in. And then this girl was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm getting something. I'm getting something. Are you, were you by any chance born in Birmingham? And she's like, yeah.
What?
And I was like, wait, I'm really getting something. Like, were you also was your date of birth like September? And she's like having a meltdown.
Yeah.
She's like proper freaking out. And I was like, yeah, the spirits have told me that someone just handed in your passport.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, got a zing. Yeah. Made her question her whole reality.
Yeah. Good on you. Did you give her back the passport? No, not.
Finders keepers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I sold that shit to someone down in Brixton Market.
If you meet a Rachel Adedeji, Rachel Smantson or whatever you said, down in Brixton, then that will be that lady who came to our show. That's a cool trick, though. Well done.
Yeah, there you go.
They gave her passport to you.
Well,
do you often go up to the bar and go, "You got any girls' IDs?" My young fit girls' IDs. Is this a racket you run like Barney from How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, just sell on IDs.
You get mooched and nick their ID half time.
She probably dropped her passport with her bank card in as well. Like, if she wanted to get her identity stolen, she was going the right way about it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you very much for new Patreon backer, Rachel Schmanson.
£200 a month.
That's all we could do. That was as our limits of our imagination. That's how little we get on the Patreon.
And £700.
Wow.
And £700 worth of Deliveroo before they blocked the card.
Yeah. It was worth it though. It was all Domino's.
Yeah.
Domino's margarita pizzas.
Meal deals. Tuesdays.
So it's a good one. The Tuesdays are banging, right? And just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, just what we're talking about, and everything in between. Just so you know that you can come down any Tuesday at Vauxhall Comedy Club. There will be we're often both there.
Yeah.
90% of the time we're both there.
Yeah. 90. More than
9.9% of the time one of us won't be there, and then that 0.1% is when one of us is having a child. And the other one is at the Brit Awards. that's guess which one was which. So that's the 0.1.
That's other than those two circumstances, we will be there.
And if you are enjoying the show and want to support us to help create good content, potentially for the first time ever, then you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/AIDIFpod. An extra episode every week could be yours if you are willing to part with £4 a month. Thank you very much to all of our Patreon backers for supporting and sticking on in there.
Yeah, well done.
As they say, the rats flee the ship. No, we really appreciate it, so thank you. I was not there on Tuesday because I was out in Madrid. Thank you very much to everyone who gave me recommendations whilst I was there for things to do.
Shady spots.
Yeah, for most of them were to fuck off. So So thank you very much to everyone who sent those in. But yeah, had a whale of a time. Me and the old Tony, the Wolf of Mill Hill, my dad, me and him out at the Wanda Metropolitano.
Yeah, we went out. We went to, what did we do? We went to what? McDonald's.
Yeah.
Right? We went to McDonald's, and then I found a place that did a good fry up. Went there, right? And then...
Yeah.
Then we tried a bit of tapas in the evening, but nothing weird.
You got egg and chips?
Yeah. Nothing weird.
Yeah. Cheese was a bit funny.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's sausage I could do. I like that.
Sausage is right. They do a good sausage here in Spain. Yeah. Mate, the place, fucking, them sites to go to find a place that did a good pint of Carlin.
Yeah.
I mean, it was San Miguel.
It's Straver. What? No. I don't want it.
No. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of that. So if you don't know, listeners, I was there for my my wonderful team, Manchester United, the love of my life. Only relationship I've ever known.
They'll never leave me. So.
They'll never go anywhere. They're not even going anywhere, really. Really not going anywhere. Yeah. So me and my dad is the reason I'm a Manchester United supporter, because he's from Manchester. Me and him, we went out to go watch a game abroad, which we very rarely, only done once before. Nice. in Barcelona, weirdly always in Spain. So we went out to watch that. And we went out for 2 nights. Lovely hotel. We were there, a bit of cultural stuff, went to museums. Every time I walk into a museum, I'm like, how long is this going to be? I've never thought anything else from going to a museum.
What museum did you go to?
Both. We went to 2 of them in Madrid.
Went to the picture one and the Museum of Sex and Boobs.
Literally.
Yeah. Sex and Boobs Museum.
Museum de Sexualidad Tit. Museo de Central de Tit.
It was me and 300 other Man United fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and Boob Museum. You
going, oh, they had this exhibit where slowly the top came off. Sue. Anyway, not gay. We watched it together. It's right. So there was a lot of that. So we went to the Sofia Museum, and it was like the central one, and the Del Bart or something like that. Art, fucking shit. Art. One of them, right?
Was it like pictures and that? Or
Yeah, mate. Don't worry. They had all pictures on the wall, pictures on the other wall, printouts, paintings.
Yeah. And sculptures made of marble, because I don't get it when it's just like, like an item, like a jug. I went to everything and they just had a jug in the middle. Oh, what's that?
Fuck's that. I defended the statues. I stood by and people came up and went, the fuck you want, mate? Yeah. Hey, fuck off, mate. Fuck off. It's like
Spanish independence, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Picasso sort of like a weird head. And I'd be like, fucking heritage, mate. So that's the problem with snowflakes in Spain. They melt. So we saw my dad's. Wanted to see Guernica.
Right.
Not into art. Just wanted to see Guernica. He was like, it's a famous place. Do you know Guernica? Do you know Guernica?
Yeah, of course.
What's Guernica about?
You know, painter.
Plays left wing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Seville, isn't it?
Seville, yeah. Phoebe, do you know Guernica? Produce Phoebe, everybody, by the way.
Hello.
Phoebe is back, and how are you, Phoebes?
Yeah, I'm incredible. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. Every time you ask me how I am, you always get disappointed, so I thought I'd put in a bit more effort.
For you,
great. No, wonderful. That Phoebe is at her most high and enjoyable when there's a world war going on. So that gives you everything you need to know about old Phoebe. Phoebe.
I've got Guernica, Picasso's Guernica up here.
Oh, you've Googled? Oh, yeah. So that's Pablo Picasso. You heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the car, named after the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Picasso, yeah.
Pablo Picasso. This is one of his most famous
painted the ceiling in the old chapel, right?
yeah. Down Watney Market.
Yeah.
So Pablo Picasso did this painting about it was about the bombing of a place in Spain called Guernica by Hitler. And it's a huge, famous painting. I don't know much about it. I don't give a fuck. But my dad wanted to see it because he was like, well, I just want to see it. So we get to this. He Googles which museum it is. So we go to the museum and we're walking around just trying to find this one painting. That's all he wants to see. We're sort of walking around. He's sort of going, it's not here. Do you know where it is? And I'm like, why don't you ask one of the people? He's like, no. He's just on his phone. Dad. I literally see him Google, what room is Guernica in? What's in the museum?
Refusing to ask.
There's like loads of staff just standing around, and he's like, no, it's on the second floor. We'll find it. We find it. We get there. No pictures allowed. Got a picture. Didn't I?
Cheeky.
Don't worry about that. Got a picture. So we go there, we watch it, we look at it, we have a good look at it. He goes, wow, there it is. That's Guernica. And then we leave the Guernica room. There's Guernica for you.
Lovely.
Guernica, you're on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And we leave the...
You're just going to print that out, put it on your same thing.
Literally, same thing, yeah, literally. And we leave the Guernica room. It's like, there's 3 more floors. It's like, do you want to go? He's like, nah.
No.
He's not asked.
I've seen what I need to see.
Literally. Always like, that's that off the checklist. Yeah. That's what he said. So we did a bit of cultural thing. But that was our sort of days. And obviously I had a couple of pints, bit of chorizo, you know, cheese, yeah. It didn't taste. It tasted lovely.
Did you Google the best restaurants in best tapas?
No. I just sent out to the old little Woodies.
Oh really?
Yeah, El Woodies de Lilo.
The Woodies.
Yeah, the Woodies.
Yeah, the Woodlouse. The Woodlouse just let you know.
Wood lice.
Yeah.
So I just asked them for recommendations and basically just followed their guidance.
They do actually. I do think especially if you get people from the area to send in. I'm not trusting. Actually, I'm less trustworthy when it's like my mates. I'm like no. I'll take this obviously Spanish person off of.
Yeah. They're like get on the metro and go to this stop 80 minutes out of.
Knock on the door twice.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, right, so there are obviously Man United fans there, and I will say this, like, lads, just fucking chill the fuck out. Like, obviously enjoying yourselves, having a good time, but don't fucking fuck up the main town square. And look, it's all one of those classic blokes on tour, all individually sound people. But as a group, like, there's just tinnies everywhere, plastic bags. They're not even like on the actual match day, not even like getting beers from the restaurants or the bars anymore. They're just standing by the bars just with tinnies from the off license. I'll tell you what, they were selling a little can of Heineken, 70 cents.
Wow.
Could you imagine if they had that price anywhere in off license in the UK?
No.
They would sell out.
Swarmed.
They'd get through that quicker than the vaccines.
Yeah, that would be unreal amount of pressure put on that.
Yeah. So clean up after yourselves is all I'd say. But otherwise, it was a good laugh, and the match was all right. The stadium was cool. We drew 1-1, and my dad, me and him out there together, having this experience. The equaliser went in, and I hugged him and turned to him and thought maybe this is when he'll tell me he loves me, and he said, "Do away goals count more?" And still, and unfortunately they do not.
And that was that. Well, next stop. Actually, they've changed it now. FIFA have finally backed out of having the final in Russia.
Imagine that. You got to really want it. You got to really want it.
That would be a real test for football hooliganism, isn't it? If you had to go and do the final in Russia.
Yeah. You'd be up for it.
The hard of the hardcore.
You have to fucking fight.
Who's going out to Moscow? It's fucking hell.
Get a tank. We've hired a tank. They do Uber tanks. Yeah. Now we've got a tank between us, lads. How many does a tank hold? So I'll read it out. I'll read you out what my dad said. So I said, cheers again for that last few days. That was brilliant. Very lucky, son. He said, I had a great time myself. Thanks for your followers' recommendations and your city map skills. It's great to have a son who shares my interests and is a best mate. Schmaltz over. On to the next game. I may not get to Euston until 11 as doing Pilates. See you there.
Your dad does Pilates.
That's why he stays so youthful and
very progressive.
And yeah, exactly. No, he's a Pilates man. My dad's a lover, not a fighter.
My dad,
not even a lover.
The only exercise or stretching my dad's ever done is cricket.
Really?
That's it. Whatever stretch you get from bowling, that's it. That's the only stretch he's ever done.
The only stretching.
Don't need it.
The only stretching your dad's done is when that gay friend came round one time. His beliefs were right to their very limits. Look, if they want to do it in their own home, absolutely fine. No problem with that. So it's been a good week. And then I went off. How about this for a downgrade? Off the plane from Madrid, straight up on the train to Birmingham.
Oh,
oof!
Beautiful gig.
Yeah, Glee, Birmingham Glee.
Oh, fun.
The first 15 minutes. it was decent. Yeah, it was all right. They said they'll get me back.
That's good. That's all you need.
So to do the door.
Yeah.
I was sort of showing people their seats now. This guy knows what he's doing. Let's get him going. I have not slept a lot.
Who needs it? Underrated.
Needs it.
Mate.
Thank you to everyone who came to my previous 2 shows since the last podcast to what the fuck was I? 2 North Down on Saturday, and then Top Secret on Monday. Really appreciate
You're a really memorable crowd.
Yeah, brilliant. I tell you what, the 2 North Down crowd, fucking brilliant. They were really, really good. Top Secret, they were nice, but Monday evening it was a bit quieter. But but I've got also 2 more shows next week, Thursday at Angel Comedy if you want to come see me, and then Sunday I think at 2 North Down.
God, really doing a lot of previews.
If you
He's planning on doing upwards of 70 previews.
Yeah, I need them, mate. I need them.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. And if you want, the tickets are on my Instagram, so just go to my Instagram. So
go to his Instagram and get the tickets.
Right, shall we talk about the state of the world?
Yeah, it's bleak, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very bleak. For a long time, I think everyone in the whole world thought of Vladimir Putin as kind of like a bad guy who would never really do anything. You know, sort of people put maybe a sort of a Severus Snape character arc, you know, a
Bond
sort of
villain in the Piers Brosnan era, where they're sort of building an ice palace, but eventually they're like, "Damn you, Bond!" You know, they don't actually.
They won't actually do anything.
No.
But anyway, called the West's bluff and has fucking done something really, really bad and just gone for it. And now we all don't know what to do. We keep holding meetings. Everyone in Europe keeps holding meetings to see what sanctions we're going to do.
Yeah. First one's been done. Champions League final's been moved.
The biggest one of all.
As someone tweeted, I've just cancelled my hotel in St. Petersburg. Don't think Putin will like that financial hit.
Yeah. Take it. So we've imposed some sanctions. I mean, a lot of people are saying, myself included, not strong enough.
What are they doing? They're taking money off, or they're freezing the assets of Russians.
They're freezing assets, but the reality is we're still taking on their gas. You know, we're so reliant on their gas that we're totally fucked. Like we can't really do anything to damage them, and anything we are doing to damage them, even slightly, Putin has been planning this for everyone's like, oh, he's been planning this for weeks. He's been planning this for years. He's got 638 billion in reserve that he's been stockpiling up from selling his cheap gas, and he's just waiting for this to happen. He doesn't.
I think he's trying to get in at the moment. I think this is
they can hear me.
The invasion,
the invasion's coming. But they've been waiting for this to happen, and now we all just look like. You know, we were all like, "Oh, we'll threaten you with sanctions if you ever do anything." You know, this is how we kept equilibrium and balance across Europe. And now he's just gone, "Yeah, I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
And he's just gone, "Oh, I don't give a shit." And he was like, and now we're fucked because we've played all our cards. We've got nothing else to play, and now we're fucked.
Where was the Europa League final?
Yeah.
So, I think
we're gonna have to.
Do you know what that sound is? Are we okay?
We do a little.
Yeah, it's just someone at the bottom of the container, but I've sent a message to try and get them to shush, please.
That's good. Right, that's what we could do to Putin.
Yeah.
Send him
That's essentially what we're doing to Putin right now. Be like, come on, man, please.
Come on, don't do this. Why does he want? He just thinks Ukraine should be Russian.
Yeah, he thinks it's a Russian territory. He doesn't. He never ever thought of Ukraine apparently as Ukraine. He just thought of it as a Russian territory. Also, geographically, it's very well located, and then he needs it because it gives him access to the Mediterranean and stuff. So he wants it.
Is he trying to take over the world? Do you think?
No, he's trying to take over all the countries that once were Russia. So that's
Soviet Union.
So yeah, he wants the Soviet Union back. But by doing it, the bigger scale. The issue on a wider scale for the globe is there have been these kind of treaties and kind of ideologies in place that kind of keep the world secure and have done for the last, really since the 1940s, but let's say then at least the last 30 years. Okay, and everyone has kind of been like, well, you wouldn't do this because we'll economically sanction you to death if anyone tries to do anything or steps over a line. But he's just ripped that up and he's just gone, nah, fuck it. So now any country who's ever thinking about taking other territories, and we all know the ones that we're thinking of.
Uganda.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. But any country in a land dispute with another country will now feel like they'll just go fuck it because what's the worst they're going to do? They're just going to sanction us a bit. We don't give a fuck. And we're so busy. The thing that's pissed me off the most about the reaction to this is people trying to infighting and politicizing this shit. And you got videos of conservative commentators being like, well, I don't think Putin's that bad actually. He doesn't care about gender neutral bathrooms, And you're like, You fucking idiot.
That's why he's invading Ukraine.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
He wants to stamp out the gender neutral.
That blue-yellow flag that they have. He's like, I don't like it. It should be all blue.
Yeah.
It should be all fucking...
It's blue and pink and nothing else.
Yeah. I absolutely. And obviously with any of this stuff, there's a whole wave of fake sincerity.
I mean,
you know, what's going on in Ukraine made it hard to sleep for me personally. So I am selling these new sleeping pills. That with the discount of hashtag stop using stop, you get 15% off your second purchase, and recommend a friend. If you have a Ukrainian friend, you will need valid ID.
Yeah.
They get an extra 10% off.
I mean, we were all watching Anna Lynn McCord is the name of the actress who is going viral currently for releasing possibly the most insensitive, cringe-worthy piece of shit material. She's done a poem called If I Was Putin's Mother, and it's just the most insincere nonsense. And you're like, do you honestly think this is helping? When you woke up that morning, you thought, I think the people of Ukraine, I know they're currently under missile fire, but they're going to see this and be like...
Gonna get my ring light out, get my hair done.
I'm gonna go in Los Angeles. And,
in LA, and this will strike at the heart of... Imagine Putin just at home, and you just sit in bed, just this like light on his
shedding
phone
a tear.
flashing up. Yeah, I am sorry, I was not your mother.
Yeah,
and he's like,
well, she makes a good point. I will
tell the troops to retreat.
Yeah.
I thought the mother was Mother Russia, but it is just Mother 902. No.
I don't know why I watched 902. The remake, not even the original from 2007. I watched that every day.
She makes such a good point. So sincerely acted. I have never felt more emotional. Yeah, I don't like those people trying to get a quick win on social media.
There's nothing I haven't thought. I don't know, because obviously, look. We're on the money comedians, you know, doing the hot takes, and I can't think of anything funny now. I can't think.
But that's not that's
my only angle in taking.
That's ever present, isn't it?
Ask any promoter. Yeah, but like, no, I think the only thing I can really think of is that I would attack is just like this government and Britain as a whole are so embedded with Russian money. It's unbelievable. And if you think that we're not like our sanctions are weak, that's a big fucking part to play in that.
Yeah, I think that the next one's going to be right. Okay, now we have, it's all gone through, and you cannot play as Russia on FIFA.
Come on, guys.
That's the next one. So, Peter, if you want to see us take this even to another level, then you watch out, mate. Get out of Ukraine.
They're going to be, I mean, you will still be able to play as them, but they won't be officially called Russia. They'll be called like the Ruski Devils. Like on Pez. Who used to have Man United.
East Ukraine.
Yeah.
So so that we're sort of at that level, and also so two points on there. So firstly, yes, I do think weird position as a comedian, because I had people replying to my story saying there's people suffering in Ukraine, we don't care about your trip, which is sort of fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
But also at the same time, I'm like,
that was just your mum.
She doesn't
tell Tony to come home now.
She doesn't know. I thought you were at the tap. She doesn't follow me on Instagram. She has it, but she doesn't follow. This is the issue, right? Because there's a bit of comedic integrity. You're supposed to find the funny in every aspect of life. But there's also just being a human being, and it is very sad. I don't look at that and go, this would be a good angle or laugh or anything like that. I don't have a hot take or anything on that. I find it deeply upsetting that our state of the world and Europe is in this. And as you say, where does it go from here as well? Because this has been clearly being planned for years. And
years. People are like, oh man, he's just done this. And it's so weird to see. Because he invaded, what was it, on Monday? Was it Tuesday evening? He actually went in it. But like, they had intelligence of this as far back as November, but he has been planning this for fucking years and stockpiling and reserving. He's like, I don't know. Like,
Would you go out and fight?
So have you seen the footage of, there's British squaddies, because you can volunteer and go and fight.
Really?
Yeah, there's footage of like a load of British dudes who have just gone to fight and help Ukraine.
Yeah. I think I was in Madrid with them earlier this week.
Yeah, a couple of the lads. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but this is the other thing, is that I am a big believer of the narrative of, if you've got a British flag in your Twitter bio, if you voted Brexit, and if you love World War II and poppies, go for it, mate. Go out to Moscow and go defend your country. I'm a snowflake. I'm not up for it. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Go, if you love it so much, go and do it.
Yeah.
There are some good memes going around, but I don't want to join in, because it's one of those dark things. It's like, it's a nice thing to sort of make light of a terrible situation, but I don't find a lot of this stuff particularly funny. And the other thing I was saying there as well, what you said is we could be about to go to war with Boris Johnson as our leader.
Yeah. Not the person I want at all.
Not ideal.
I would take ex-military leader Keir Starmer any day. Yeah. Over I don't know, man.
Because at least he'd be on the centre and we could join each side to see how it's going, really. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is a worry. So hopefully, generally, I hope it goes all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's to either side.
Yeah.
Whoever's winning.
Yeah.
No, but it's fucking sad, man.
Also, absolutely fair play to Zelensky, the PM of Ukraine, because to stand by your country under, while you're being encircled, and to face so much tyranny, and to be able to stand up and stand by your people like that is, and not to flee or run or do anything, and just stand there knowing what's coming. They're coming for him. He's target number one. The bravery of that man is unbelievable.
Apparently Klitschko's stuck around as well.
Yeah.
Apparently he's going out.
Well, isn't he a member of?
He's a politician as well. Yeah. But he's also a millionaire, unlike others. So he could just fucking dip if he wanted to. But apparently he's staying around.
I mean, they're handing out guns, so they've done the call up of anyone up to the age of 60. You know what? This really makes me fucking hate boomers even more, because they were too fucking young and not born for World War II. And if World War III kicks off, they'll be too old. I'll be so pissed off. You fucking cunts. You absolute wankers.
Yeah, and they'll still talk to you like you didn't know what it was like in World War II. Bruv, you didn't know what it was like in World War II.
Yeah, you just took all the jobs and houses, and now you're fucking... Fucking pricks.
Well, so I'm surprised. I thought war was all online nowadays. I'm not even joking.
Well, they are doing a lot of cyber.
This is what I thought. I was like,
Anonymous have declared war upon Russia.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Finally doing it for.
Thank God they've stepped in. Thank God those 8 people in their mum's basement.
Yeah, guys.
Who sometimes.
Guys, I'm gonna take on Russia now.
Yeah.
No, I'm destroying Russia.
Yeah. Their servers are down. They can't play Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah.
So
we flooded their message board with "fuck you, Russia."
Just try and go on a forum in the next 6 months, because you will be destroyed. So thank God Anonymous are getting involved. But I agree. I thought that I would never have to fight in a war, because I just thought it's too virtual now. It's all digital.
No,
but
turns out actually, closer than ever in the last sort of 50 years to war.
The rays of light, I will say, doesn't look like Russia have a lot of allies in Europe on this move. I would expect they might have some further afield, but I was worried that maybe
they've got a pretty big one. They've got a pretty big one.
Yeah,
they got some big ones saying
Uganda again.
We see you.
Yeah. So
they got some big ones being when directly asked about the conflict, they're like, well, there's an argument on both sides. That's not.
We'll see what happens. And but I will say they won't have a lot of allies in Europe, which is good at the moment. I'm glad to see a lot of people rallied around Ukraine. And secondly, as well, big up to those protesting in Russia right now.
Yeah,
big up to you. That is good of you. And RIP. But the
bit of comedy. Didn't you see Louis C.K. is still currently billed to play a gig in Ukraine, in Kiev this weekend.
That's why Putin's invaded.
To be honest,
it is not okay that this sex offender plays.
For me, that's full redemption if he does the gig. If he comes, if he does the gig, I'll forgive him.
He's like the when they say the Titanic, the band kept playing just as they're shooting and the bombs are going off. He's there going, so I jacked after some fucking porn the other day. And, I don't know if you know, with porn in Russia, it's fucking good. So I would.
So you guys are getting invaded. What's that about?
Yeah, exactly. This is the first show I've had where there are more audience at the end because it's a hostage situation. I would bring up that. But look, hey, genuinely hope if you're listening to this, you're safe. And guys, I'm going to go out on a limb here. We're going to say this is a no war podcast. Anti-war. Don't stop it. Don't do war.
All I'm going to say is this podcast has now been podcasting through Brexit. We've done.
No, it's post-Brexit. It was post-Brexit.
Post-Brexit. Okay. Post-Brexit
era.
Yeah,
Trump,
but the transition.
Trump,
Brexit, pandemic, and now possibly if we make it all the way through World War III podcasting, aliens will find this. And they will be able to be like, what's the history of the Earth?
What was this?
What was the history of the Earth?
Why did this survive?
Yeah. What was this?
We fly so under the radar.
These two historians.
Yeah, we're the last living testimony of the West. When this comes down hammer and sickle on the main TV, and then we just suddenly put on hats and we're like, good afternoon, comrades. This is all I do is win. Great success for Russia.
We have taken Poland.
Yes, yeah, precisely. But and so stay tuned for more episodes. But we will have to move swiftly on, as this will actually be a maybe slightly shorter podcast than usual, than we're used to. As we can hear gunfire outside, but we move on to Agni Uncle, but not in a weird way. So this is when you send in your issues, the problems, and we try and give you some advice on the situation. Now, obviously, as we always say, if you've come to us, you're very desperate. So good luck. But this is the first one. I've got two here, so this is the first one, and they're sort of on similar themes. So Tom, what would you do in this situation? I'm going to read this out for Agni Uncle this week. I wanted a male perspective on this, so get your head in that.
Okay, Phoebe, turn off.
Phoebe, you'll have to actually
you have to leave the room.
Stand outside. My friend wants to split with her boyfriend of 3 months because he never does anything around her house. Brackets, cooking, cleaning, yard work.
Yard work?
Yard. I'm reading it verbatim. Yard.
It's an American.
We have international fans here. I said it's a bit early to expect that from someone since they only started dating and he's not living there. Some additional, hopefully helpful context. They both are divorced, so when they do spend time together, it's always with kids around, so it does get messy. However, she broke up with her last two boyfriends for the same reason. I think it's a bit unreasonable, but she's convinced she's right. Our other friends have mixed opinions. Some say she's right, some say she's mad. What do you think, Tom Elwes?
Well,
3 months.
My hot take is it doesn't sound like she wants just a boyfriend. It sounds like she also wants a gardener.
Yeah.
So that really feels like it's a big.
I think you're confusing what a relationship is.
Yeah.
It's not some sort of man around your house just doing.
Sorry, have you done your yard work? Yeah, you can't come inside.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch you until you've sorted out the leaves outside, mate.
I'll bring you some lemonade once you're done.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like what she's requiring for her relationship is quite an extensive thing. Now, she may find someone who can do that and wants to do yard work and clean the house.
If you do want to do yard work and you want to clean the house, then please message in at AIDIF Pod on the Instagram and we'll see if we can set you up.
I've got a yard that could do some cleaning.
Yeah. Apparently it does sound like you need to start immediately, so get ready.
But that is quite bizarre.
Second date was at home base, just getting equipment that you might need.
What do you reckon? You need rakes?
Yeah. You tell me what you looking at me? You tell me what you need.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
You'll be the one doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dishes and stuff. I think this is a bit of a strange one. So part of me wonders, is he super lazy and he's just not really doing much? But the other part of me thinks, well, as a kid, contextually, after 3 months, you're not living together. Why do you want him to clean your house?
Yeah, the what she's requiring
Yard work
just seems the bar there is very high. Now, look, if she's honest from the outset and she's like from date one, she's like, look, if you're going to be my boyfriend, you got to be doing your yard work. You got to be doing that yard work. You got to be cleaning the dishes. Then fair enough.
Yeah.
But it feels like she's luring these.
She met him through Handyman app, and she's dating him.
Checkertrade.com.
Yeah. Met him down in Screwfix and thought, I've got something you could screw. And he went, oh, it's sexy. And she went, no, literally put up these shelves here.
Yeah, I think, so, if she's being honest right out the top, that's what she wants, then fair enough. But it sounds like she's not, and then she's getting annoyed when they're not doing enough work, which you're destined to fail, I think. I think you be honest at the top with what you want from your relationship. I mean, I think it's a bit weird, but, if that's what you're looking for and you can't move forward with someone unless they do your yard work, then I guess that's the way it's got to be.
Yard work or nothing. So, yeah, I agree. If you want, be honest, and if you want that, tell them.
Yeah.
And also, I'm interested, how much do you do around his house? How much?
Yeah, that's true. She could just be doing his plumbing. So.
She could be building an extension at his gaff. Mate, his gaff, the yard, fucking brilliant after she's had a go with it. Mate, they got a pond in there now. She's got garden force on it.
Koi carp and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Phoebe, what do you think about boyfriends doing work around your house?
Well, they also said that they've both got children, and then so it does get quite messy. So if he's come round with his children, made a mess, and then not offered at least to help clear it up, I think that's reasonable.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
But do you think maybe because he was out in the yard doing work, and then?
But he's been slacking on the yard work.
That's true. Okay, it's a good point.
You can't be slacking on the yard work. Not in this day and age. It's 2022, man.
Would you expect a boyfriend in 2022 to be able to put up your shelves?
Yeah. What about you with no kids? But he's really messy. Comes around. He uses all your shit. Leaves it all out. Banana peels and.
But that is, I would, after a little while, I would be like, but that's just common courtesy. If you went round to a mate's house and you left lots of mess, would you feel guilty? I'd feel guilty for that.
Would you want a boyfriend to be able to do okay, now this may seem sexist, whatever. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
But would you be annoyed if your boyfriend could do absolutely nothing? I mean, absolutely nothing. And you're like, oh, can you can you just maybe put a bit of paint on the wall? He's like, oh, I just don't do manual work.
Yeah.
But how? Okay,
he says, I read.
I read. Yeah, I prefer to read.
I read the manuals. Yeah, but never does it. Is this literally can't even change a light bulb?
No. Won't do a light bulb.
No, I wouldn't be with that person because if you don't do anything, what have you got going for you?
Good chat and. And a lot of
is this you?
A quality,
he can chat you up.
Great chat and
he'll chat you up, mate.
There's a laugh.
Exactly. Yeah, and has a very successful podcast. I'm sorry, it's you.
I guess there is some functional level of practicality that everyone needs.
To turn off.
Yeah, but I'd be annoyed that because I can change the light bulb, not humble brag.
All right, mate. Done well.
But so if they couldn't as well, and if they wouldn't do anything, come on.
Yeah, I think it's very off-putting. I think it's a turn-off. It's a turn-off, isn't it? If someone just does nothing around the house.
That means they can't fend for themselves.
You ever gone to someone's house and it's a fucking tip?
Yeah.
And it's gross.
Also, the greatest brag, every time people come around my flat, I put up some shelves, and every time I go in there, I go, look at that.
Yeah, but get the spirit level out.
Look at that. Completely flat.
And then you're like, right, you can go.
Yeah. It's the greatest achievement you'll ever have, And
then let go, yard's looking a bit. So, shut up about the yard. Yeah. Girlfriend does nothing in that department.
She's actually very good in the yard. She's Australian.
Oh, right. She's out back there.
I bet she's just how Australian she is. It was 11 a.m. We're doing the yard, right? Last time.
I don't want to hear about your sex life, Tom. Yeah. Gross.
That's what we call it, the yard.
Get down there and do some yard work. Yeah. My garden's fucking filthy.
And I was like, oh, do you want a tea? And she looked at me in disgust. She was like, fucking tea? She's like, we're doing the yard work. Give me a beer.
I'm yeah. Straight in.
It's 11 a.m. What
fine, she says that whenever she's hanging out with you.
So what the fuck is this? Fucking tea.
Good for her. So there you go. I don't think we solved anything there, but good luck. And finally, so this is another agony uncle. LMAO, it starts. So,
aren't they?
Don't bother reading it out.
Party rockers in the bar tonight.
Uncle nephew team, dream team. LMAO. So basically, my ex asked me if I'd marry him after dating on and off for 9 years. I truly feel like he loves me and I love him, but he put zero effort in the relationship. My yard is a disgrace. Doesn't say that. there's been a lot of hurt throughout the years, and I really don't know what to do. So I think he's got the feelings, and he's great when we're together, but doing long distance for such a long time has been terrible. He's horrible at communicating and shuts down or gaslights when I catch him in a lie. I broke up with him a lot through the years because he never committed to marriage, and with us being citizens of different countries, it's kind of necessary. It's a little bit more interesting as well. He says he's willing to dump his current girlfriend.
What?
But then contradicted that by saying they haven't been dating for 6 weeks now. He's been emotionally absent and not very understanding or supportive for really difficult things. What do you think this...
No.
Dump him.
Don't.
Leave him.
It's
Never
not even
speak
like
to him again.
It's not even like you should leave him because he has another
He's not
girlfriend.
even there, yeah.
He's not even with you right now. This guy's saying, I'll marry you, but I have to sack off my girlfriend now. No, you've got to run. No way. No.
I say go for it.
Love is love. Love is blind.
love. It's really hard being a man, and people don't get that.
Yeah.
So you've got to just let them off the hook on everything they do. I mean, this is a fairly obvious one, isn't it, guys? I mean, just get rid. He's just wait on and off for 9 years. I think
he has a girlfriend now.
Yeah, I think TV shows and films like When Harry Met Sally and Friends romanticize this idea of the on-off friendship relationship. Will they? Won't they? It's so romantic because we were so close, but then a communication issue and blah blah blah. And then we followed each other because people think it's like the universe saying that we destined to be together and stuff. I think it's just often like one party is not really that bothered, and they just dip in and out when they feel like it. He's probably said, "Oh, I want to marry you," because he's in the mood now. A year's time, he won't be. Fuck him. Leave it. Allow it.
Agreed. Get out of there. I mean, the fact that he's got the other girlfriend tells you everything you need to know.
I
The
mean-
fact that he's not even like dumped the other girlfriend before coming to you saying, I'd marry you. He's still with that girlfriend. And he's like, if you say yes, I'll dump her.
But also, he's lied on that. He's said two things. He said he'll dump his girlfriend, and then he said, "Oh, but we haven't been dating for 6 weeks." So, which one is it, mate?
I would message the other girlfriend,
Oh,
show all of those messages,
Yes.
and then then the girlfriends could date.
I mean,
all right.
that was that's a bit of a porn fantasy, but you know.
I mean, Phoebe's just having everything fucking sexual.
So I'm just having a wank at the corner.
Yeah, literally.
Don't mind me.
Yeah. I thought that's why the camera's a bit dodgy this time. But
Sorry, it's a little bit shaky.
yeah. So I spilt something on the mixer. But anyway,
Aww.
so what?
Sorry, Mooch.
He'll love that.
Yeah.
That's gross. That's gross, and also fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So well, that's the Agony Uncles, guys. So thank you very much for sending these in. We wish you all the best in your. We also had a few that were like, I'm currently being invaded, but I'll just skip those. But no, we didn't. The next.
Oh, a bit of an issue. A bit of a worry.
The next and final section on this podcast is, as always, fail mail. This is, if you don't know, listeners, this is where we ask you to send in your fails around a particular topic. And this week, it was a bit of a quiet week this week, I must say, but thank you very much to everyone who sent theirs in. We were asking you, because now we forgot to say, because of all the terrible news that's going on, good news this week is that the lockdown is officially, the pandemic's, it's over. It's done. The UK is done with restrictions and rules, and we look forward to them coming back in October. But
but for now, if you've got COVID, just lick people. Do what you want, mate.
Go and
cough on them. You know, doesn't matter.
There's fetish clubs now where they have a COVID room.
COVID's over.
You can just cough on each other.
You know?
So COVID doesn't matter anymore. So that's done. So
God.
just get over it. Basically, is the message.
I've got COVID right now. So.
Yeah. You too.
Yeah.
So
Phoebe, I assume you've got it by now anyway. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Good, Phoebe. Always, we're all in the same.
On the ball.
Sometimes you tell me not to talk if it's going to just be a yes or no answer. That's what you said before. So
okay. Well, I'll tell you what could do. You could try and say more than one word. You could try. No, but of course, you're quite right, Phoebe. Thank you very much for being a part of this podcast as always. So, so this
I hate you so much. Sometimes.
Love you, Phoebe. Love you, Phoebe. And Phoebe was one of the people who was in the part of the Quieter Monday audience who came to the show. And thank you very much. Yeah. And also GCSE Lucas was there. I saw Lucas. He says GCSEs they're coming up, and he's fucking shit scared.
Okay.
I said, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Drama, media studies." I tuned out. I was like, "You're never getting a real job, mate." But yeah. So this week for Fail Mail, because the pandemic's over, we asked you to think back and do a retrospective. What were the weirdest things you got into during lockdown? So we'll go to the official AIDIF Pod Instagram responses first. taken a course to critic films. So film critic course, which I thought criticism was easy. It comes naturally to me.
Film critic course.
Yeah, film critic course.
Fuck me. Universities will peddle any old shit to get people to go now. That is unbelievable.
What are you doing at the moment? Watching a lot of films?
Yeah.
How about you give us 800 quid and we'll tell you how to enjoy them less?
How to be a know-it-all knobhead.
Yeah, and also your friends will like you less. So, named all my neighbours I could see out of the window in my flat and gave them backstories. I like that. I think that's a good way to cope with things.
That seems like a very you kind of thing to do.
That's what I do, yeah. And then I send emails.
They're all secretly in love with me.
Secretly. Yeah. And I send them notes under the door saying, I'm here. And then finally, believe that we'd come through this having learnt something. So it's good to end that on a cheery note.
Lovely.
So thank you very much to those who sent in to the official AIDIF pod. Tom, have you got any on yours?
Yeah, I did actually get a lot of people again saying, I can't think Ukraine, fucking war, a lot of that, which is, it's difficult and fuck.
Well,
I don't know.
Worse news. Watching AIDIF podcasts, someone said.
Watching AIDIF, I got that as well.
How about this? Exercise at 4:50 a.m.
Weird
and weirdly specific.
Shaving boyfriend's head when hairdressers were closed. Yep.
Yeah, fair. This is a good one. Grew weed with my mum.
That's fun. That's a fun little bonding.
It's lovely.
I once did that with my brothers. Yeah.
Really? You grew weed with your brothers?
We
Are you sure it wasn't like a basil plant?
No. Well, we put it in a cupboard upstairs, and then just so my mum wouldn't clock, we just put like a chili. You know what the plant is?
Oh yeah.
We just said it was chilies.
That's quite smart. Yeah. And then your
absolutely stung. Yeah.
Mum smoked it.
Yeah.
Learned the cup routine from Pitch Perfect. This is nice. I had breakfast pass through my window on my 20th birthday to eat alone in my flat. Oh. Oh well. Stopped drinking. Yeah, fair play. I did that for 39 days in the first lockdown. Worked out in a bin shed to escape my flatmates.
Getting COVID for the first time on COVID Freedom Day.
Oh, that's good. That sounds like something you do. Ate Thai food and watched Thai documentaries for days so I could feel like I'm on holiday.
Oh, that's depressing.
I've got a slightly similar one to that. Someone said, pretended to go to a French restaurant by intermittently wearing a blazer, using a French accent and serving dinner.
To themselves?
Yeah.
Themselves.
By themselves.
The blazer, that's what I do. Is that like specifically French?
Got a couple of snails from the garden, just whacked them.
Also, I'm interested with this. We're going back to the Thai documentaries. Is that documentaries about
very
Thailand
vague.
in Thai?
Just watch the beach over and over again.
Wrote messages on my window to randoms across the street, and now they won't leave me alone. That is actually my neighbour who's said that. Who wrote on the window and said, do you want to get drinks? Basically, which is pretty cool.
The toilet paper shortages, that's really old school. That's real throwback.
Yeah. Someone said, be on diet? ? Made beetroot pasta at 1 a.m. So
it's the beetroot
not
pasta.
A fan of beetroot pasta anytime really. And then finally, last one I've got is wearing diving goggles and gloves in an airplane. It was day 2 of the pandemic.
Oh yeah, good times. Good time. People, my favourite was people washing all of their cereals and stuff.
What?
As your food came in, my parents literally like just wiping down all their groceries.
Well, throwback. I mean, she doesn't seem so crazy now, but award-nominated comedian, an award-winning comedian, I think as well, Janine Harouni, who we had on this podcast before, washes her fruit before she eats it, not with water, with soap. Washes it with soap. So I assume she's not got COVID.
No, ever.
But thank you very much to everyone who sent in their fails. Really appreciate that. And that is it for this episode of the podcast. Slightly shorter, slightly briefer, and a lot of people will say much welcome. So thank you very much. Thank you to producer Phoebe.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. You can follow me at all good social media platforms, at Tom Elwes, at all good things. Hopefully next week, World War III will have not started and we'll still be here. I mean, even if it has started, we'll still be here. So don't worry, never fear.
Doesn't matter.
Tom and Ali are always here.
We change this name to whatever it needs to be. All I do is nuclear holocaust. That's it, mate. We will do it because we will still be podcasting. Our listeners won't change, so that's fine. Listenership won't change. 99% of the planet's been wiped out. Well, Well, you've got a particularly resolute listenership of it's only
Ones
a couple
who
of people.
don't like to go above ground much. So.
They have to be very specific with their targeting to get ours. And obviously you can donate to our Patreon. Thank you very much to everyone who does, and that will get you an extra episode every week. You can find us every Tuesday at Vauxhall Comedy Club. If you come down, we will be performing. And if you want to follow the socials and message in, we're always welcome for messaging. If you want to message anything to the show, message on our Instagram, AIDIF Pod. And finally, you can follow me at Ali Wood's Gig. So thank you very much for listening, guys. Please do stay safe. Look after each other. Don't start wars. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.